Continue where we left over from the previous video. So we continue to see the example from the Jubic notebook. We talked about we can get the row returned from the table. Not like column. If we want to get a column from a table, they will return an array. Instead, when we get each row from a table, we return a list. So you see, for example, here is the index equal to 0 from the survey table. So you see they got the list for each element is the column equal to the value. If you get the first item, that means the first column value pair. So that's you see here, they will get your the value for the first column is second. They are the same as you specify the label name for the column. So the same thing continue, we got our second row, but we select 1, 2, and 3. So that means in the survey table, let's get the column index 1, 2, and 3. So we start from extroversion, number of taxi, and hours of sleep. So we get the second row. So again, you can see that's a list, right? So like earlier we said, we can apply, you can pass the built-in function on the row. So that's why here we have our row 2. You see, each value, they are numeric number, 3, 4, and 8. So that's why, yeah, we can apply the arithmetic built-in function. We do the NumPy average. So I'm passing the row. So then we got the average is 5. Yeah, 3 plus 4 plus 8 divided by 3. Then we see more example. Then if we got the pivot function, so we according to the index 3 and the 8. So index 3 and the 6. So that's hour of sleep. And that's the sleep position. Yeah, right. Remember for pivot, we're passing 2 column label or index. So the first one is for the horizontal. So that will be the sleep position. So then here is the hour of sleep. So we got all the sleep position with the hour of sleep. So if you want to get the total, how we will do. So the first thing we can see different hour of sleep. I want to know for different hour of sleep, what is the total number of that? So for example, you sleep 3 hours. How many people sleep 3 hours? So we will according to the sum of the row. Okay, so that's why the first thing that's drop 0. Okay, we drop the label name. So we will want to have the sum for each row. So that's why you're still using apply. So apply function, if you're only passing one argument, they know this function is, the first argument is function. So that will apply this function on each row. Okay, so that's why you will see for each row, that's why we get the total. See, for the first one, you have 1 plus 1. So then the second one is 8 plus 2 plus 4. So plus 3, so that's 17. Okay, so that's they will include the kind of the label of each row. So then they get the sum for the rest of that. So then we can add those information to our original table. Okay, so that's why here we add the column is total for each one. Yeah, so that's what we talk about for the apply function. You also can using the function we want to apply on each row. So then you will call apply function by passing the argument only for the function name. So then we know we want to work on this function on every row. Before we talk about apply function, you want to apply the function on each column. Then you need to pass in the first argument is the function name. Then according to how many arguments we're passing through the function, then you have different columns to passing by. So they have more than one argument. Yeah, so that's apply a function to a row. So then, yeah, let's go to see our next topic. We want to talk about control statements. What is control statement? Our control statement is very important So this control statement control the sequence of computation that are performed in a program. So when we write a program, control statement is very important. They kind of help us to see where direction we will go. Mostly we see that's the if statement, if keyword, or the for keyword. So the if statements, they will have the condition. Then for will have the condition, then they will repeat certain times. So that's we call that iteration. We will talk about next. So the first one, we just see the if statement. So the purpose of if statement is to define function that choose different behavior based on their argument. And the argument mostly is a condition. So if that's true, on condition we say if that condition is true, so then we do something. Else we do the other. If that false, we do other thing. So we see the demo. We see the control statement. So for example, I have x equal to 20. So that we say the if. If they followed by a condition. So if x greater equal to 18. So here is 20, right? Greater equal to 18 is true. So then, right, you can legally vote. Yeah, look like earlier this one doesn't perform. So then, yeah, x is 20 greater than 18 is true. So that's why you can legally vote. So then, right, in order to drink, you need to greater than 21, right? But you are 20 years old. Can you drink? Okay, so nothing, because this one is false. So they cannot do anything. So if statement, the next, when you have if statement, the next expression only when you true, they will execute that. Okay. So on the other hand, we can make the if statement actually in our function. So we define a age function. So according to the x passing the argument, if greater than 18, we say you can legally vote. If greater than 20, you can legally drink. So we see what happened. So if you are 3, they display nothing because nothing they will return. So if you are 20, you are greater than 18, you are legally vote. So if you are 25, suppose you want to have this one, right? But no, they still display legally vote. The reason is when we define this function, be careful. You say if, right? If greater equal to 18, you just return. So the function, when you return, they finish the function. So on the other hand, when they are doing this one, if they return, they just never do the rest of that. But if you are greater than 21, we also want to show they are legally drink, right? So on the other hand, since 18, you can vote. But if you are greater than 18 and 21, you can both vote and drink. So that's why we need to redefine our function. Okay, if you are just greater than 21, right, you need to be 21. You can drink, but also you can vote. So that's why we need to have more to display. So if you are not greater than 21, right, here we say the else if. So ELIF equivalent to else if. So if you are true from the if statement, you already return. So they come here only when the if statement is false. So we come here. So if you are not greater than 21, but you are greater than 18, yeah, you are legally vote. Otherwise, you just cannot drink and vote. We just say you legally drink milk. Okay, so if we have this, we see again. If you are age 3, right, you can drink milk. 20, you can vote. 23, yeah, you can vote and drink. Okay. Yeah, so this one actually we can do is the if statement. We quickly see another example since we already have the trip table. Remember before the trip table we have our star and NCT. So if we want to define the trip, so that's why here we have a function called define trip. If you pass in the star CT and NCT, if the star and CT and NCT they are the same, right, it's a round trip. Else is one-way trip. So that's why here we add one more column. Okay, so we're using the trip. We add one more column. We call the trip kind. So this one, right, you see this one we want to make a function. This function we work on the start station and end station. Okay, so that's why here we will have the function name, then passing the argument according to the function. Okay, so then that start and end city and start city. So then we see what happened. Okay, so we add. You see this one because start city and end city is the same. So that's, they are not the same. So they are one way. Okay, so that's the if statement. I know I talk quickly. That's because we have the video. I want you to make sure if you feel that something you want to understand better, pause the video or replay. So the next topic, we will quickly talk about random selection. So Python is very easy. We just can do the random selection for you. They came from the numpy.random.choice. So this random selection will have a arithmetic algorithm behind that. They will select uniformly at random with replacement, and they will get the actually the choice. What they will make the choice is you passing them all the possibility outcome in an array. Then you tell them how many times you want to get that outcome evenly. Okay, so then they will give you the result. The same thing will be an array. So what's that? So here is we using the numpy.random choice. You passing an array. So this array contains all the possible outcome. Each one they have even chance. So then you tell me how many times you want to choose from this array. So then we will return an array for how many, depends on how many times you run. Yeah, let's see the example on Cubic Notebook, how to do that. Yeah, here is the random selection example. Okay, you make an array we call mornings. Yeah, you either wake up or you sleep, right? So then, right, so when you do the random.choice from NumPy, you just call this, passing this array. That's mean default they only run one time. Okay, so that's why they only choose either sleep in or wake up. So yeah, we do more time. Yeah, you see sleep in. Yeah, they are all sleep in. It's impossible, right? It's not impossible. Just you will feel weird. It's like that. No, you can just run more time. Okay, yeah, you see they wake up or sleep in. So remember, every time that's we will talk about the possibility later. They are all independent. You wake up or sleeping, you have two choices. Every time they run, they have equally chance. So that's why every time they have equal chance, have chance to get either one. So after you have this, right, if you didn't specify, they only give you the result for one time. But like earlier we said, you call the numpy random.choice. The first thing your array is how many outcome. Then you say, you tell me how many times you want to run. Okay, so we have 7 days in a week, right? So each morning we just say you either sleep in or wake up. So then they pass you an array for 7 outcome. So you can see here, right? How that do? If we do 7 times, then the array, if we calculate how many wake up, that means that week, 7 days, how many times I wake up, right? And you can get the sleep in as well. Then you will say, I either wake up or sleep, right? So how come 5 plus 3 is not 7? The reason is whenever you run one time, they have 7 outcome, right? But here actually you run another 7 times. So they not for sure, they will add to 7. So if we really want to know in a week, how many times you wake up or sleep in on certain time. So you run that 7 times from your random selection. You passing the mornings. Then you passing 7 times you want to run. Please save your results for your array. So after you save that, we call morning week. Then from here, right, you can know how many times you wake up, how many times you sleep in. So this one, right, is 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, so that's random selection. So after you know the random selection,